This spider is neither itsy nor bitsy. Find out what's going on as I hereby invite everyone to join me on my adventures through Marvel Snap. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So we got a brand new card this week thanks to Marvel Rivals, and that card is a Peni Parker. Peni Parker comes from a universe that is set in the year 3145. She's one of the spider people that were drawn from their respective home dimensions due to the actions of Kingpin's Super Collider. Her father was the former pilot of the Spider Mech unit, a role in which he defended Tokyo Webworld from various crimes and threats. Following his death, she was contacted by her father's handlers, known as Aunt May and Uncle Ben, who took an interest in her well-being. Peni Parker needed to merge with the experimental mech-suit known as Spider, and in order to control the suit, she had to allow herself to be bitten by the irradiated arachnid that controls the mech CPU and form a psychic bond between them. Now she and Spider keep the people of Tokyo Webworld safe, just like her father did before her. But her mission is bigger than just one city, as the two of them have devoted themselves to protection of countless realities. Peni Parker already had a genius-level intelligence even before she got into the mech suit, specializing in math and science, and her superior intelligence helps her not only pilot the Spider, but also repair the robotic mech suit and regularly develop upgrades for it. She even found a way to let other people use it in a pinch. The Spider in the suit does not like this, but it will let it happen as it knows this is the best way to assist her in her ongoing war against crime. Peni Parker possesses remarkable intelligence and exceptional technical skill. She is characterized by her bravery, friendliness, and high energy levels, showing off an optimistic, bubbly, and peppy personality that makes her generally cheerful and carefree. Despite her youthful optimism, she has also demonstrated emotional vulnerability and at times can be ruthless, tough, aggressive, smug, and vain, particularly when engaged in combat situations. Peni Parker shares a psychic link with the Spider inside her mech suit. This mech suit will allow her the movement to crawl vertical surfaces, shoot webs, and spawn spider drones. She can summon a spider anytime from anywhere, and she's able to coordinate her attacks to her advantage while in the suit. She is quite intelligent when it comes to electronics, and even when outside the robot, she has showcased that she is a skilled, athletic, agile, expert combatant with above physical capabilities. Peni Parker can merge with a mech suit that she can call to her aid. This suit allows her to move almost any place, and she likes to develop upgrades for it. She has even found a way to let others use it in a pinch. This is represented in Marvel Snap as when she comes onto the scene, she will call a mech to you that you can use to let anyone move to any new place in a pinch, as well as her being able to upgrade anything that she can merge with, letting that object give you a little extra energy. So in Marvel Snap, what this card does is actually two different cards. The first card is Peni Parker herself, and Peni Parker is a 2/3 with the ability to merge and the ability of on reveal. So her on reveal part of her is when she revealed, she will add a spider to your hand, and when Peni Parker merges to anything, not just the spider, you'll get +1 energy the next turn. The other card that you get off of this, when you summon this, would be the spider. This is what the spider looks like. It's a 3/3. And it has the description of merge and on reveal and move to a certain degree. So it's an on reveal card that will merge with one of your other cards at the location that you play the spider at, assuming there is another card there. And then once you do that, you can move whatever card this merges with. Next turn only, for one turn, not every turn, just one turn. And it has to merge if you want to move. All in all, when I kept going through this card as I get further and further into this, as I was going through the star levels and trying to find out where she was, I kept knocking her down levels in the star levels, and she ended up with 2 on me. And there's a part of me that thinks I'm kind of being generous on the 2, if you want me to be 100% honest. First of all, let's talk about the biggest thing in the room. Now, just on her own, she's a 2/3, and a 2/3 is basically the equivalent of playing a Hulkbuster on its own. Now, that's not the end of the world, but that's not the greatest card in the world. Now, if you just play her and then just throw down the merge card that she gets off of herself, she basically turns into the equivalent of a 2/6, which is better than a Maximus. But by doing that, you basically have to give up your entire turn 2 or turn 3, depending on how you want to view it. So you can't get the 2 of them together. But it kind of becomes the sort of hats and pants problem that you get with Spider-Man 2099, where it's hard to get Spider-Man to both move and destroy something good. When you play her long enough, you kind of have this weird thing where it's like, when do I want to play the spider that she gets? And because of that fact, it's hard to weave her in. If you think about her, she kind of almost has an activate on her. It's not quite an activate, but it's almost an activate, and it's almost worse than an activate to a certain degree. You get this small little window with her, where it's basically, even if you get her on 2, you almost have to play the mech on 3, and then you almost have to move on 4. Well, you have to move on 4, or you can't move at all. That's part of the problem, too, and we'll get to that. So, basically, even if you draw her on 3, let's say somehow you miss her on 2 and pick her up on 3. You're having a hard time or a weird turn on 3 playing her down, because you're missing an energy. And then on turn 4, you have to merge something onto her if you want the energy boost, and that's where the problem comes. This isn't a full energy boost. This is like having a Psylocke on your board. And to a certain degree, you're almost better playing a Psylocke. With taking the 1 less energy, you have the ability to weave the Psylocke in whenever you want to. And getting that +1 power off of that, is that worth the need to have the merge cards in there? And that's another thing that's kind of a problem. Right now, there aren't that many merge cards in all of Marvel Snap. Now, ironically, there are as many merge cards as there are activate cards. And this gives me a hope that maybe somewhere in the future they'll actually let merge be a keyword. I hope they do. If there's enough cards, this would be a nice card if they let merge be a keyword in the future. But for right now, merge isn't a keyword. And that's sort of the problem. Right now, the cards that you have, if you are Series 3 complete, the only card that you can use if you're Series 3 complete and don't go above Series 3 complete is Hulkbuster. If you want to go both Hulkbuster, the next card that you're basically looking at is Agony. The only other ones that you really have access to are Phoenix Force and Symbiote Spider-Man. That's your entire merge window. And the thing about Phoenix Force is to say Phoenix Force as a merge card, you want to destroy your Peni Parker just to get it to merge with Phoenix Force. That's not that great of a thing. And while the Hulkbuster-ish is nice, the Spider Suit is nice, it's not a permanent move like Nightcrawler is. If it was a permanent move, or you can only move it once, I'm not saying you can permanently move it each and every turn. But if you can move it just once per game like Nightcrawler, that would give it a huge boon. The problem is that if you don't have a need to move it the turn after you merge it, you lose that movability. Now, the problem with it also is that because of the fact that it's really needs to be almost played on 4. You can play it on 5 on the worst of days if you want to. The move cards don't exist past 3. The best move card that actually gets a bonus off of moving by itself is Vulture, which ends up at 3. There are no 4 drops that have a move effect that are on their own. The only 5 that exists is Spider-Man 2099. And you can't really do the merge on the 5 unless you're going to play an extra turn, because you have to play the merge on turn 6 and then move it on turn 7. And that's part of the problem. So even on turn 4, if you wanted to merge onto the Vulture to get the power off of it, to make Vulture 3/6, you're giving up your entire turn 4 to do that. You might be able to weave in that 1 extra energy, but then you're giving up your entire turn 4. And then to a certain degree, your Peni Parker isn't doing much else. Because you don't want to throw another merge in there, at least not one that I can think of. Now, there is a funny little deck that exists where basically you, at the end of the turn, throw the Spider onto a card that you've built up over the game, down up to, say, like 10, 15, 16, 20, whatever. And you drop the Spider on it on turn 5. And then on turn 6, you can move that anywhere. And then copy that with Taskmaster, because Taskmaster sees the Spider as the last card that you played. Now, is that a great way to use this card? I'm not sure. But to basically say, hey, on turn 5, I'm putting the Spider on this card that I built up all game. And now you gotta guess if I'm going to move the Spider and what lane I'm going to put the Taskmaster in. And it's almost a surprise, what 2 lanes can I win? The other thing that you can basically do is just use it almost like a secondary Forge, like a secondary Hulkbuster, and just really start to build up a card. Just take a card like Colossus, throw the Hulkbuster on it, throw the Spider on it, throw the Symbiote Spider-Man on it, throw the Forge on it, and just make it this ridiculously huge card that nobody can do anything about. Now, is that the best way to use this card? Not really. The other thing that you basically gotta look at is, because it is on reveal for both the Peni Parker and the Spider itself, you really got to watch out for Cosmo. What a lot of people are going to do is when they see your Peni Parker, if they have a Cosmo, they're going to play Cosmo against it just to make sure that you're not merging into there very often, because pretty much almost every merge card is an on-reveal card. Other than those cards, other than Peni Parker this week, I should say, we got Sasquatch back again. Sasquatch is a good card. It's basically a 5/10 no matter what you do. I think everybody underestimates the Sasquatch. I think it's a good card. I just think that it might need to be brought down at some point. And the other card that we have is Gladiator. Gladiator, again, it's a great card. Perfect 3/8. Meta's kind of come down from having a lot of 10 drops in it. But you got to be careful with Gladiator that it can pull something that you don't like very often. So all in all this week, nothing too bad. None of these cards I would cry about getting. Probably the worst card in here might be the Peni Parker, just because I don't know how you're supposed to play this, when you're supposed to play this. It's not so much the Peni Parker herself that's really bad, but she is kind of bad because she's a Psylocke that doesn't have the ability to charge every turn. It's a little bit the Spider itself. I will still roll because that's what I do for content, so let's find out what's in the box. The box is Peni Parker. Alright, so this Friday, I will be playing a deck that features Peni Parker and only 3 drops. Sorry, 3 or less cards. So, only Peni Parker and series 3 or less cards. So if you want to watch me do this on Friday, come and see me again. I want to thank you all so much for watching. And as always, remember, play full fun.